Good afternoon. Ready for part 4 of tailpiece acoustical tuning, and we've got the acoustical center and the mode 5 lines laid out. I'm just going to reestablish those. And let's see if we can. Okay, so this really goes up about there. Okay, and these are the go from the acoustical center down to the edge of the mode 5 line, and that gives us our center area, and they're all the same frequency, and they're all 223. I think we have our other reference tool here. And to use this one, we just tap in the center, gives the average. Tap along, goes up, stair tread up, going down the stairs, stays even. And so it transitions right there at 213, which was our goal. All right, so in part D, we're going to find and correct uneven areas. So I think what we're going to do first is from the acoustical center, we're going to go outward, and I'll use the lead shot filled tapper, and we're just going to go out little radial lines from the acoustical center and see if you can hear it. Down, up. So right about here, there's a low. Let's see in this direction. Same thing. And it's more like here and there. So in this section, you see that's about a little over half the way. This is about 2/3 of the way up, which means about 2/3 of the way up here will be a problem area, and about half the way up there will be a high spot, and the same thing here, about 2/3. And that's why it's a little more complicated, because it's so small. Up, down, up, down. Okay, so what we're going to do is knock down these two high areas here, and that'll bring those up. So we're just going to do that first. I'm just going to use a scraper. And you get a feel for how big an area, by how big an area there was here. Okay, now we'll try it again. From the acoustical center out. So now there's kind of a low area out here. Right here there's a bit of, goes down a bit. Okay, and since it's way out here on the end, on both of these, meaning it's going to be out most of the way here and be in this area, right in like that. So we're going to go. See how that goes from the acoustical center out. A little bit of a low area right there. So relative to the end, that's most of the way, and this is the acoustical center along that line. Most of the way would be right about there. So I'll just correct that. And that should raise that up. And that's what it did. Okay, now we're going to go down this way. I hear a little low area right about there. your low area right about here, along that line, and that low area. Okay, so given these two areas, since this is up near the line, that means it's up near the acoustical center, right in this area, and this is about halfway up, so there'd be a spot about there. So these are the areas I'm going to work on, this little bit here, and this triangle down in that direction, a little bit there, from the acoustical center, and a little bit out here in the middle. Try again. And the ends are the same. Now, the areas we have not tuned are these two triangles here on the side. Now it's time that we pay some attention to those. So I'll just reestablish these lines. Acoustical center, of course, is in the center. And let's see how these, going from the acoustical center out, there's a little bit of a low band right about in here. So if we want to raise that up, we'll take some material off near the center. And again, we just take, and we'll move in the direction of the too low area. There's a bit of a low area here. So we'll take material off in that direction from starting at the acoustical center. And I'll go on the other side. So it pretty much drops right off, and that probably means that right here in the acoustical center, right up next to where the V comes up there, the materials, it's too high pitched. And see if we can hear it on that side. It's a little high spot right in there. So we're just going to scrape that down. A low spot in there, so move from the acoustical center out in that direction. All right, sounding pretty good. So we're going to just listen to the overall. See if it, okay, so that's part 4, finding and correcting uneven areas. It's the same principle for fingerboard as it is from the plates. And then, of course, you can erase all that. Now, you could do these same adjustments on the back side, but I found it just a whole lot easier to do it on the top. And here you can polish this with a piece of burlap, or on your blue jeans, or silk, a pure silk cloth, or clean.